All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing your daily horoscope for Friday, June 5th, 2020. What a beautiful day we have ahead of us. A challenging day indeed. We have a lunar eclipse, a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius. This is the first of the Sagittarius Gemini nodal eclipses that are just beginning for the next year and a half, right? In the past, they've been Capricorn and Cancer, right? The North Node's been in Cancer for the past year and a half. So this is the first set of eclipses, right? The eclipse in January, December and January were both in Cancer Capricorn. So this is a whole new set of rules that we're going to be playing by. So this has to deal with information, okay? As the sun is in Gemini, closely conjunct to Venus. We just had a Venus conjunction on Wednesday, all right? So we're illuminating all the information, okay? And where the moon is this is a south node conjunction. Okay, so where the moon is over in Sagittarius, which deals with a higher source of information. All right, and this deals with philosophy, education, religion, higher source of information. Where Gemini deals with all of the information. This is where I love the expression. Politicians use lies to hide truth, where artists use lies to expose truths. Okay, so there's like, a lie in every truth and a truth in every lie. Okay, it's the yin and the yang, where, in the middle of the white, there's the black dot, and in the middle of the black, there's the white dot. Okay, so this is the balance of both. Again, the Gemini twins. Okay, so we're fully illuminating the sun, shining its light, focusing on the higher source of information. Okay, the information that's worth seeking, that's outside of our environment, which is that Sagittarius, okay, that distant fire, the knowledge out in the distance that I have to travel outside of my comfort zone in order to seek. Now, again, the fact that the Sun and the North Node and Venus are all in Gemini, this is dealing with great change and accepting great change within our lives. And the challenging, tricky part of this eclipse, okay, because there's a couple aspects. One, it's a near perfect square. It's 15 degrees, 15 degrees Sun, 15 degrees Moon in Sagittarius, 15 degrees Mars over there in Pisces. So these are the three mutable signs, three of the four mutable signs. Virgo is left out of this particular mix to create, this grand cross. So we're dealing with information on one hand. The opposition and the south node lunar eclipse deals with information that we could be misguided about. Okay, something I look into greatly with astrology is astrotheology or cosmobiology, which is understanding the religious side of astrology, and that our ancestors had used the planets and stars to tell stories, okay? And these stories have been transpired throughout the ages and ages and ages into religion and ideologies that we're using today that, to me and many others, has been 2,000 years of the telephone game gone very, very wrong. To where, we believe in Santa Claus far past the time where Santa Claus is meant to be believed. So it's information like that Santa Claus kind of thing. It's like, well, Santa Claus served its purpose when we were children. The Tooth Fairy served its purpose when we were children. This story no longer serves us purpose on, our adult life or on our adult path. Okay, so one of the tricky things again is, what if I'm wrong? Now I have to take this into consideration with myself and absolutely everything. We can look again at religion. What if this is wrong? What if we're wrong about this? Many things in religion is, I want to hear about yours, but ultimately I want to tell you and share with you about mine so I can convert you to believe, that's not always the case, but, and it's in good-heartedness, right? I want you to be saved or whatever, or this eternal salvation, whatever it may be. So it's in good purpose. However, it's ultimately like, my way is kind of the golden right way, So we have to consider, what if we're wrong? What if Western astrology that I practice here, that I preach, if you will, every single day, and thank you for showing up to the sermons, what if this Western astrology is completely wrong? What if Vedic astrology is the better or righter way to go? Something I should consider, right? Are there answers that are different? What if, there are 13 signs and we have screwed up our calendar system and it should be 28 days, 28 days, 28 days, 28 days instead of 30, 31? Would this make more sense? How does this throw off the zodiac? How does this throw off balance, adding that 13th sign in. Not saying that that is. Again, going back to something I talked about last week with the dingle hopper and the fork. This is a hairbrush and this is a dingle hopper. This is what you use it for, and to me and to my people and to my environment, the fork will always be a dingle hopper until I seek out the information of other people, other individuals that could be doing something differently. We see this all around the world with different music. We can see this in different cultures of dance. We can see this in all kinds of different aspects in our life, in our nature. So right now it's saying, what information do I need to let go of? What information do I need to release? What information do I need to look at and seek a new path on? What information is worth me going out of my comfort zone? Because we're no longer feeling that stuck in that comfort zone. We're feeling explorative and adventurous, right? With the North Node now moved into Gemini. So let me just show you the chart here. All right. Now it's 3:13 p.m. that this lunar eclipse happens. So for my friends here in the Metro Detroit area or Eastern Daylight Time Zone, we will not be seeing this eclipse. Geometrically, I haven't looked at exactly where everyone will be seeing this eclipse, so forgive me on that part. It's not generally my my focus when doing these. It's more of figuring out what the planets are trying to teach us. Okay. Now this is the other tricky aspect: is Mars closely conjunct to Neptune, squaring the moon and the sun. Now it's quite far off of the nodes, this is 14 degrees off of the nodes, but either way it's squaring the moon and the sun almost exactly, and only 5 degrees off of Neptune. Now when we look at Neptune and Mars in this is our planet of action. Okay, this is our dreams and our imagination. All right, when we have our action and dreams and imagination, on a positive side about this, we can be really focused on what potential my dreams could be. What could they turn out to be? If I exercise every single day and I do my yoga and do my meditation, what would my life be like in a year? If I sat down and did some of these things, and stayed disciplined and structured, how would my life turn out? If this is the information I'm seeking, or if, again, that meditation kind of thing. Again, this all deals with this higher knowledge kind of stuff that we're illuminating. And we're seeing our own shadow, which is the key to the eclipses. And eclipses are Uranian energy, okay? Uranian meaning this breakthrough, extremely emotional, so closely conjunct to Venus. Why am I feeling this way? Why do I love what I love? Why do I feel abandoned? Why do I feel lost? Why do I feel that no one would love me back? And these are some of these thoughts as Gemini deals with thoughts, and the ruling planet of Gemini, Mercury here in Cancer, our feelings can go, our thoughts and feelings can be a little bit hidden right now. Right? Or we're not exposing them or communicating how we should be, which is extremely important. We have to communicate, right? So part of this, all right, is escape, okay? We're confused about the times, which is understandably so. We're all a little bit confused on what's going on, where we're headed, how our economy is going to be. On the hard side of it, it's about we're actively escaping reality. Okay, we have the opportunity for great change in front of us, and we're caught in the crossroads during this eclipse of our actions seeking to gain the life of our dreams. Where we're trying to go, what kind of life are we trying to achieve, what kind of life are we trying to live, right? And this is about being the change. If you're the only individual in the world that has this idea of change or how the world should be, then it is 100% your responsibility to follow through with those actions, even if no one else is doing it. It's up to you to live by that example and to be the one person. It's like here in Detroit, we have a ton of burnt down houses. We have ghettos. This is very real. And when you're driving through these ghettos, sometimes you see this one house that's pristine, and that one individual that's kept up their practice, their home, their garden, their lawn and everything. And you're saying, wow, while everybody else said, what's the point of keeping up and maintaining this? It's just going right down the gutter. Well, this one person saw hope. They saw something different. They saw opportunity and possibility. So we have to keep our minds open for that possibility, those opportunities, and not see things for just as they are, but for seeing them how they could be. And by applying ourselves and seeking out that knowledge, where we can go in this journey. And it's important that we're not using this energy to escape by numbing ourselves through drugs, through alcohol. Okay, now prescriptions are prescriptions, I get it. And some people are prescribed different things, and I totally understand. It is what it is. That's not the message I'm trying to talk about here, that this is explaining. But this is saying, like, look, we're under the opportunity for great change, and great change feels terribly uncomfortable. And when things feel uncomfortable, we go back to a safe space. We go back to the old norm, even if the old norm isn't something that is working out for us anymore. It might be more difficult for the homeless person to, I say this loosely and with care and compassion, but to stop whatever it is, alcohol, if it's drugs and alcohol that's holding them back, given that be the case, to get off the streets in their comfortable bedding that they've created, but to continuously, with structure and discipline, create the life that they're trying to, that's not what they've been a part of. That's not the drugs or the booze or whatever it is that's keeping them there. Now, that bedding might be comfortable there on the streets, but ultimately, they've created a comfortable space for them at their environment at that time, but that's not where they want to be. So it's doing that change, creating the change in our lives to get us off into the next space. So that's going to be uncomfortable, to where, again, we want to go back. We want to numb ourselves. We want to escape with television or anything. All right, so this energy is saying, look, if we have the ability to persevere, to stay focused, to stay grounded, to look at our own shadows in our own lives and see where our shortcomings, where our knowledge has been holding us back. Okay, what have we potentially been wrong about? And when we find out that there is an alternate route, alternate path, alternate knowledge that's worth seeking out, to embark upon that fearlessly, courageously, lovingly, and to seek that out, in the sense of awakeness, feeling everything, feeling the entirety of the storm or whatever is coming our way, the ebbs and the flows. Okay, so this is interesting as well, this eclipse coming right now, because we have another one in 2 weeks, the new moon. So this is a bit of completion of the Cancer Capricorn energy, the eclipses that we had in December and January. So this is a completion of getting out of our comfort zone, getting out of our safe space, and really applying ourselves into being the seeker and getting outside of our comfort zone and seeing what it is that sparks joy within us, right? New opportunities, new circumstances. Gemini. New beginnings, the new beginning is coming. So right now it's time to look at what it is going on in our lives that we need to, make room for, to clear away, so that when we have this new beginning, this really total lunar or total solar eclipse coming on the 21st, right on the solstice, that we're able to hit the ground running, that we don't have, dead weight holding us down, carrying this backpack full of bricks. So, like, what can we shed that's going to help us out here? And if that's knowledge, if that's things that are holding us back mentally, different feelings that we're not expressing properly, communication is really key right now, especially with Venus retrograde, especially with Mercury as well, going to be retrograde on the 18th. This is just time to communicate our feelings, communicate from our heart, not be afraid to step out, step up, and follow our dreams. And as well, coming back to it, not being afraid to be wrong, not being afraid to be vulnerable, not being afraid to set down our armor, set down our sword, and just say, look, I was wrong about something. Whatever this is, or whatever is going on in your lives, this could be, again, relationship with someone else, could be relationship with yourself, okay? A bit of surrendering and humble pie, if you will, all right? Seeking new knowledge. It's a beautiful day, my friends. Happy eclipse to you. Thank you, as always, for hanging out with me. I appreciate you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.